Welcome everybody to the Business Geeks podcast. This is the oh man, I'm all messed up. Welcome all you business geeks to the Business Geeks podcast, an entrepreneurial show where three friends, geek out, friends geek out, and what does that say? These notes are totally wrong. Oh, we geek out loud and proud. I skipped some words in the. I am just a discombobulated.
Joe Pardo, Jen and I are shaking our heads.
I don't know what that was.
It is not the first time or last time. Anyway, I'm Super Joe Pardo of superjoepardo.com and independentpodcastconference.com. I'm joined by my two wonderful co-hosts who keep me in check, Jennifer Crawford, the co-founder of Sparent.co, and Samantha Riley of SamanthaRiley.global. This week, we are discussing, our new format change, how I screw up things, apparently. We're talking about our morning routines and how we get things done in the AM. We're also talking about the brand new transition from Intel Macs to Apple Silicon Macs, which I think I will probably be leaving most of that talk to. And what else we got here? We're going to be talking about millennial money and how somebody's living on $120,000 a year in DC. Shout out to Jen, who lives in DC and I thought would be interested in that take to give a take on that. We're talking about the Three Stooges syndrome off of the Urban Dictionary. And there's a grind my gears where we talk about people who can just literally slap their name on something like that. And then bam, they're just selling like crazy. It's insane. And it grinds my gears for sure. As well as the Take My Lunch Money Small Business of the Week. So, Sam, Jen, we are changing up the format a little bit here. We changed up the time. We're here at 5:00 p.m. Eastern. Was this today's Monday, and Tuesday at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern time, right? Did I get the time?
Yeah. See, we're talking about morning routines here, nice and early. Getting it done.
Cheers to that. And it's still right outside here, so I decided to record out here poolside, which was maybe a good decision, maybe not a good decision, because I remembered at the last moment that I totally forgot to bring the sound effects. So I got to bring my own sound effects today, and I'm all right with that. As long as you're all right with that. Are we on board with that? Well,
it's looking beautiful, Joe. I'm very jealous. It's very cold here. We're in the middle of winter, and you've got that beautiful backdrop, beautiful swimming pool. Just don't leave Jen and I halfway through and go for a swim, okay?
All right. I will try not to. So we decided that we wanted to each curate our own episodes going forward. So like Jen and I, Sam, we each take the episode and run with it as far as picking out the topics and divulging what content we were going to discuss for that week. So to go along with that, this week we're talking about our morning routines. Who wants to talk about their morning routine first? How about the person in the AM?
The person in the AM.
Yes.
So I find this topic really interesting because, you go on Instagram and it's like, you have to get up at 4:00 if you're going to be successful. All the people that are shouting from the rooftops that you have to get up early to be successful. And I think that's a load of crap. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. However, I'm an early person, so I do get up early and I love to get up early. I do get more done because the house is quiet. My productive time is in the morning. Like generally once lunchtime hits, it's slow down central for Sam. But I also know people that are really productive at night and they're really creative and they work at night. Totally not for me. I'm a nana. I'm in bed by 10, but I think morning routines are good, but I don't know. What do you think, Jen? Do you think you have to get up at 4 a.m. to be successful?
Absolutely not. I think it's poppycock. I'll go ahead and say it. It goes against your biological nature. I think the most important thing is to get enough sleep. And you know what? There is research backing the importance of the amount of sleep you get, but there's absolutely no research supporting the fact that you are more successful by virtue of getting up early. So those who are members of the 5 a.m. club, all the power to you. But Dr. Michael Brouse, who's also known as the sleep doctor, he says that there are actually 4 chronotypes of sleepers, I guess. There are lions who are morning people, and they tend to rise with the sun. So those 5 a.m. clubbers, maybe that's a natural state for them. There are bears, and they're the most common. They have a normal sleep pattern in which they sleep at night, and then they're awake during the day. Dolphins never sleep well at all. In nature, dolphins only let half of their brain sleep at a time. So if you're one of those people that just never has a good night's sleep, that just doesn't need a lot of sleep to function, you're a dolphin. And then there are the wolves. I know a lot of wolves. I'm not one myself. I'm like Sam. I like to get up early. It's just my natural. I just naturally wake up at 6 a.m. That's just, I don't like to use an alarm. But wolves, I have some friends who are wolves. They stay up late at night working and are most productive during those times. So I think it's good not to fight your biology too much. And if you just are more productive at night, then who's to say that you're less successful because you're not productive in the morning? Poppycock, poppycock, poppycock.
That's really cool, Jen. I really like that. I really like those different people. And I think that I'm definitely a lion. That one of the things that I do is I don't like to shut my blinds. So one of my morning routines is that I wake up when the sun comes up. This morning was a little bit different. So Tuesday mornings for me are going to be a little bit different, getting up in the dark. But I find that that's just, my body likes that, just going with a natural rhythm and getting up. But yeah.
Well, have you ever, I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of weekends camping, and I've noticed that when I'm camping, I get up with the sun and I go to bed when it's dark. And your body just, I have never felt so rested as when that happens. And when you're camping, it just sort of makes sense when when it's dark out there, you can't do much, practically speaking. So you sort of just naturally, get in your tent and go to bed. And then in the morning, as the sun's rising, the birds are chirping, and you've had a good night's sleep because you've gone to bed at a decent hour, and you naturally get up early. And I tell you, you feel so good. I have a hard time necessarily mimicking that in real life. It's one of the things I've been thinking a lot about lately, and how I want to try to go to bed as the sun goes down and come up as it goes up, and see how I feel. I don't know. Have you ever experienced that when you're camping? Are you guys
totally, absolutely? Yeah, I'm the person. We've had the campfire on. All the guys like to sit around the campfire. Sam's snoozing. Like, sun goes down, I'm out. Absolutely.
To me, I generally like to try to get up. The goal is usually to get up at 4 a.m., but that doesn't always happen because the night, depends. It really dictates that, right? If I'm not going to bed till like 11 or midnight, there's no way I'm getting up at 4 for more than one day, maybe 2 in a row.
Okay,
right?
so tell me. Why 4 a.m.? Like, why is that the plan? And how has it benefited you?
Well, yeah. So the main reason is because I have 2 little kids and a wife, and they're all still sleeping. So I can get things done before they get up, and then I'm able to be a part of the family, like good morning, wake up unit thing, before jumping back into going back to work. I also feel like I'm the most charged up. First thing in the morning between 4 and 6 a.m. to do things that require focus. And for me, this might sound silly, but answering email requires a lot of focus because I'm a very slow reader, I'm not a slow typer, but I'm a slow, think it out kind of person. So for me, if I can do that stuff in the morning when I have the most amount of focus and attention to that kind of stuff, then I'm going to get a lot more accomplished throughout the day because I'm not wasting a bunch of time reading these emails and replying to these emails and taking 3 times as long to be able to accomplish that. So so it's not so much about I'm part of 4 a.m. gang. Got to do it. It's more about and out of necessity. Now, prior to prior to having kids, I would stay up I would stay up till like 12, 1, 2 in the morning, and then wake up by like 8 o'clock in the morning and then get my day rolling, and it was fine. But yeah, as now having kids, like I try my best, and look, there's a lot, like today I didn't wake up till like 7:30. It doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I woke up at 8, and that was only because I woke up at like 7:30 because Ava came in the room at 7:30, but I was still like really tired. I don't know, I was really wiped out this morning, and would have stayed in bed for another hour or two, which is not common for me. But yeah, it's just you adapt.
So what's interesting around that, Joe, is that's the, you're in that 4 a.m. club that gets up, and you're in the, let's put it in air quotes, you're in the successful group, the 4 a.m. club. But the real diehard 4 a.m. club says, get up and you do your meditation and you do your exercise and you do your journaling and you do blah, blah, blah. But you're going, no, the thing that is best serving me at that time is to do my emails, which actually goes against all of them, that says, don't touch your emails till 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. And that's, I think, what Jen and I are talking about. You need to make your routine work for you. And I would say more than a morning routine, I think it's a waking routine. Whenever you are waking up, that I think that what they're trying to say, and maybe haven't articulated it so well, is you need to have a routine for when you first wake up to set up your day, rather than necessarily, one of these strict journal and exercise and whatever, because I don't exercise in the morning either. I exercise in the afternoon.
I agree.
I used to run at night. That used to be my thing. I actually like running in the morning now, but it's been a while since I've had time to go running in the morning, because if I wake up at like 4, then I could totally do it. But I'm still going to get things done before I go out running, and then go out running, come back, and get more things done in work related. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I think Sam is right. I think just having a routine, I think there is value in that, in terms of like structuring your day and making sure that your day, has some sort of plan to it. So you just don't let those hours go by without getting the important stuff done. And for me anyway, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, my morning routine starts the night before, and nothing complex, but I do look at my calendar for the next day. I look at, see what prioritize what I need to do. I block out my morning just to make sure there's no conflict in that could potentially impact my preferred routine, which is to get up and exercise in the morning. So yeah, I find that if I have to look at the day like the night before, in order for it to have the best chance of playing out the way I need it to.
Good point, Jen.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I find I get a lot more done if I have it on a reminders list that I can just check things off. Because nothing's worse than like, okay, I got time to do stuff, and I sit down and like, what was I supposed to do again? And now I'm watching YouTube videos for an hour. It just is not. It's not helpful. So having that reminders list, especially first thing in the morning, to know like, okay, I can cross this off, cross this off before I even like get downstairs and start doing stuff like in the studio or with the family. Like it's so helpful. Oh, look who is showing up.
Lou.
The Early Business Geeks podcast edition.
We're talking about morning routines, Lou.
Yeah. So are we good to move on to the next thing, which was it the one cool things next, I think?
Absolutely.
Sweet. So Apple announced last Monday, and we probably could have talked about this last Monday, that they were switching away from Intel processors, which have been in Macs since like 2006, I think, was when they first launched them. 2006, 7, something like that. And they're switching. Oh, this is not APM. Yes, Brent, you're good. Ding, ding, ding. Good job.
This is the new time.
Yeah. So we we've all been using Macs, right? Jen, you use a Mac, right?
Yes, I do. And I have a MacBook Pro sitting right by my side. I'm not using it at the moment. I hope it does not become obsolete with this new core processor change.
So it won't become obsolete for a while. They're going to be continuing to put out updates for Intel notebooks for years to come. With that said, the first laptops supposedly is going to be a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and it'll be out by the end of this year. And they're stating that it's about 2 times faster. Now, the reason I'm talking about this on the Business Geeks isn't just because a lot of us use Macs, and I use Windows and Mac. I'm not, one or the other really, unless we're talking about laptops. For the most part, it's an Apple laptop every time because they're just bulletproof. But the reason is the business side of things, right? So we're seeing the change now, but the reason we're seeing a change now is because back in 2015, with supposedly with the Intel Skylake processors back in 2015, those processors did not start to deliver on the promise of what Apple was expecting when they redesigned the MacBook, right? They made the newer version of the thinner MacBook Pros, and guess what happened? Intel didn't keep up, and they didn't keep at their end of the bargain. Now they are losing out years down the road because Apple's now, not only are they going to have their own processors in the MacBook, they are faster and better for consumers, but they're going to be able to make a lot more money. Just like they can sell a $400 iPhone with the newest processor in it, they're going to be able to sell their MacBooks and make, because Intel processors, just for reference, like, a lot of them start at $100. So like you buy $1,000 laptop and like $1,000 or $100 to $200 of that laptop is going straight to Intel. Like even with discounts and stuff, it's still like 100, 150, 125 bucks and up. So this is a huge deal, not just for Apple, but for Intel as well, because they're going to lose a big partner in the process.
I think this is the end of Intel. I mean, I think this is a nail in their coffin. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think Intel is going to I don't think they're going to recover from this. I think this is going to be a slow death. That's my prediction. Sorry, Intel, but you made a big mistake not massaging that relationship and making sure that didn't dissolve into what it has become. But I think it makes sense for Apple. I will say that I think it makes sense. I do worry that people who do have the old, what are going to become the old MacBook Pros, I don't think those updates are going to come as fast and furiously as they're going to come for the new processors. So I think. I think you can expect to have to maybe update your MacBook Pro with a new one sooner than you would have had to if they had not moved away from Intel.
I think Apple's done something super smart here. They always wanted to be the best, and they've said no, this isn't keeping up. So they've moved ahead with it. I think it's very smart, and we saw it. It happened with Nike. Back in maybe the 70s, I don't know, when they were originally selling like Tigers, and then the Japanese company did not sort of keep up. So then Nike just went, all right, well, we'll look after this ourselves. Big mistake. So I think it's a good move on Apple's part.
Yeah.
I mean, and Intel, honestly, they've been stuck in neutral for too many years now. Since Intel's sixth generation Core series has been on the 14 nanometer process. Like each year, they've gotten small. Like every other year, pretty much, they've gotten smaller and smaller. Well, back in 2015 with the Skylake processors, they went to the 14 nanometer and have stayed at 14 nanometer. And now we're in 2020 where they're releasing the 10th gen. And they're still on 14 nanometer. Meanwhile, AMD, who is a direct competitor to Intel, has released 7 nanometer processors 3 years ago. So like, and Intel's like, well, we could do the 10. We're going to get 10 nanometer right. But the thing is, they haven't in bulk and in higher end desktops and servers. So when you shrink down the nanometer process, it enables you to have it can get faster and reduce heat output, which is huge, especially in a laptop.
Yeah.
Right.
I would just like to say, because I don't think we said it in the beginning of the episode, we mentioned that we are each curating our own episodes. In case you couldn't tell, episode is curated by Joe.
Ding, ding, ding.
So you just, that tells you a lot about Joe right there in his nanometers. What is it? What did you say? Nanometers?
The nanometer processor.
The nanometer processor.
Could not agree more, Jen. When I opened up the spreadsheet and saw what we were talking about, I went, oh, this is a super Joe Pardo show.
I guarantee you when I curate an episode, nanometers will not be in it because I don't even know what they are.
Oh, Jen.
Yeah, it's a very small measure of length.
Oh, well, yes. I've used that measurement before. I just didn't know it.
Oh, there you go. Ding, ding.
Yeah, right. So, all right. So the next thing was the millennial money, living on $120,000 in DC. What was both of your take? So I'm gonna throw the video up. I'm not gonna play it, I'm not going to play the audio, but you could talk about it while it's playing.
Well, DC is your area, Jen. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
I mean, I don't know. As a DC resident, I think I'm not a resident of DC. I live in the suburbs. I live outside of DC. But one thing that you might not know is that $120,000, yes, is a lot of money, but it doesn't go very far in DC. So I think this young man's financial story is being highlighted because he's taken his $120,000 salary and stretched it in a way that has allowed him to create passive income through multiple real estate investments.
What I absolutely loved about this, and I didn't know, when we started talking about this, I'm like, I don't know, is 120,000 a good thing or a bad thing? Because obviously I'm in a different country. But what I loved about it is, regardless of whether it was good or bad, at 24 years old, he's got investment properties. He's got it figured out how he's paying off his student loans. I know that we were discussing that he's got a huge amount of debt, but he's also paying a huge amount off every week. And I don't know many people that would be paying, like, what was it? Was it $5,000 a month?
Yeah. And that's, so he's got the mortgage, multiple mortgages, but he's got $47,000 in credit card debt. And so he's paying $5,000 a month towards that revolving debt because he knows he needs to get it down. I'm a little curious how he got there. I'm assuming, or maybe they mentioned this. I did watch the whole video, but my watching comprehension may not be the best. Maybe he had to fix up at least one of the properties. So maybe he racked up that debt with those expenses. I'm not sure, but I was a little concerned about the debt portion of this story.
I think it's clever that he's... Oh, sorry, Joe, you go.
Oh, no, go ahead. Finish what you're going to say.
No, I was going to say, I think it's clever that he's bought those properties, but he's also, renting out. Like, he's really worked out how he can get the maximum bang for his buck. It's very smart.
Yeah, and he's got a roommate. So the roommate is paying almost half of what his mortgage is.
I think his mortgage is $2,700 a month, and I think his roommate's paying $1,000.
$1,000, yeah. So that's smart.
Yeah,
that is smart.
I don't think it's bad. I think he's maximizing what he has. But I mean, I know the food budget thing came up in it where he's like talking about $1,200 a week.
Yep.
Eat out.
Here it is now. Eating out. Yeah, I thought it was a month, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Surely not $1,200 a week. Surely not.
Hopefully not. I just put the subtitles on there. That helps a little bit. To me, like if he got that down, like he could pay down his debt even faster and speed up his process to saving money, right? I mean, it seems like there you go, $1,300 a month in eating out, which kind of seems a little expensive. They're $200 in groceries, but you can see like he ain't got much in the way of groceries.
Got a lot of wine. I was
thinking there's a few liquid dinners there, I think.
No, I want this guy to keep going out to eat. I've got no problem with that. I get it because he doesn't want to have to I understand when you're single, the time that it takes to grocery shop and cook for yourself. And then there's the commuting time. So this is definitely a convenience cost for him. The thing that makes me sad is that I think he's eating by himself at all these restaurants. I would like to see him have a dinner buddy. I know he's got a girlfriend, but she lives in Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
I wish he didn't have to eat alone so much. I feel that I get a sense of a little bit of loneliness.
See, I just thought that
Makes me
that was
sad.
for the camera. I assumed
I don't
he was
think so.
eating out because it's a social thing. So my take on it was, I actually don't have a problem with him eating out, because I think that, you know, eating with friends and going out for dinners is actually good for making you feel good. And God, why not go out all the time before you have kids? I say go for
I
it.
say go for it too. And I hope you're right, Sam. I hope there are friends that just weren't being shown on camera. But for some reason, because he mentioned that he was eating out on the way home, I felt like, you know, he's probably got a stop or two that are his favorites. And he just, you know, on his way home from work, he eats and then just keeps going. I hope you're right. I hope he has more social life than I thought.
He's able to write some of that off, isn't he? I mean, if he can show that he's doing business, you wouldn't?
No, he's on his way home. He's not doing any business. He's just eating.
You don't know that. Well, I'm eating too.
I'm not giving out tax advice, Joe, but you might want to. I don't know. I would not write that meal off personally.
No, I'm with you, Jen.
So,
Slippery slope.
Never eat alone.
It's called being audited real fast.
Yeah.
Okay. I mentioned when I listened to this, I thought there was a bit of a shady part of this video, and I'll tell you where it is. So he's using like a VA loan to get his investment properties. And he mentions that it was 0 down and all he has to do is move into the property. Okay. So on these investment properties, he's using that 0 down loan. Maybe he moved into them for a couple of months, but they're rented out now. So that's where I was like, I think he may have been pushing the envelope a little bit on those loan deals. I don't know. Like I said, he may have moved in, and maybe you just have to make them your primary residence for 6 months, and maybe he did that and then rented it out. I don't know, but there was a little gray area there, because I only pointed out because I don't think it's that easy to get 3 investment properties plus your primary residence on 120K.
No.
But that's what I liked about it. I think that to get ahead in life, you do need to think outside the box a bit. This guy he's not totally illegal. Otherwise he wouldn't be on here being interviewed on this show. I think I'd love to see more people thinking outside the box and figuring how to make things work. I say good on him.
Yeah.
Oh, so now you're giving out tax advice, but Joe's
No, I'm not giving out tax advice. I'm saying good on him.
I didn't hear any tax advice. I'm right. What? I don't know. Good. Yeah, I agree, Sam. I'm just I'm just trying to find something to talk about, but I think it's good. I think it's a great example. He's so calculated in a good way, like very intentional about his money. And I think that there's a lot to be taken from that alone.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right. Well,
what's his name? I don't even know his name.
Was that Keith Ferrazza?
Oh, Keith Ferrazzi.
Cool last name too.
I think
my God. He's got to have a Ferrari. Then he'd be Ferrazzi in the Ferrari.
Jen's show is going to be like a Dr. Zeus version of Business Geeks.
Words are fun.
So Lou says, so rental properties is a good retirement plan. I'm working on it myself. That's awesome, Lou.
Agree, Lou,
awesome.
and well done.
I had a perfect segue. You guys just missed it. I said words are fun.
Oh, words are fun. Yeah. So our next segment is talking about the Three Stooges effect and how that we're living in that right now in 2020. Sam, could you give us the definition of the Three Stooges?
Okay, let's just say, please don't record me forever saying that I understand this, because this is just my take after reading it.
I'm very confused by it.
I believe that the Three Stooges effect is when lots of things are wrong, and all of those things being wrong creates something positive. So it was referenced in The Simpsons in that Mr. Burns had the Three Stooges effect because he had lots of ailments and injuries and illnesses. And because he had so many things wrong, that made him indestructible. That's my take on it. I'm not sure if I've understood it correctly, but I think that that's what it is.
It reminds me of Two Uglies Make a Pretty.
Ooh, there we go.
Have you guys heard that? Have you heard of Two Uglies Make a Pretty?
No, I have not.
Okay, so the theory is Two Uglies Make a Pretty is when you have two very ugly parents, they make a beautiful child. Two uglies make a pretty. That's a theory that two ugly parents will make a beautiful child. So it's kind of like two negatives cancel out.
Now you've made me feel really bad about myself because I've got 3 gorgeous kids. So now I'm like, okay, what do I really look like?
It doesn't mean that two pretties make an ugly. I didn't say that. I didn't say two pretties make an ugly. I said two uglies make a pretty.
Okay, walking away from that one.
I'm just trying to understand the definition.
I think that you explained it very well, Jen.
Yeah.
So you found this one, Joe, right? You found this. How did you even find this Three Stooges effect?
This was on Urban Dictionary, and it was like the top thing. But now all of a sudden it's gone. I can't get there. So yeah. So I just hey Nick, we can actually see who you are. StreamYard.com/Facebook. Just hopped on. Can you guys do me a favor?
That's okay. Nick's asked us if we can repeat it. We can repeat it on iTunes next week.
Yes.
Just for you, Nick.
While you're painting. No, I thought it stood out to me because of the idea that like right now there's so many people see everything that's happened in 2020 as a negative, but really there's a lot of positive things that have come out of it. Yeah, there's like lots of death and people have, been very ill and I mean the list goes on and on. 2020 has been a roller coaster for sure. But there's so many positive things that have come out of 2020, not just societal, but also in business, right? Like how many people have pivoted their businesses, have maybe not pivoted, but like dive deeper into what they offer so that they can hit that pain point again, even though people are stuck at home or staying home. And I just think that there's just a lot of opportunity for the Three Stooges effect for us to view it in that way, where it's like all these negative things have happened at the same exact time, and all of a sudden, so many great things can come out of it.
Yeah, totally agree. And you're right, not just for business. And there are businesses that are doing well. And, that's a good thing. The economy needs business. Just because people are losing their businesses, like if we all went down that rabbit hole, the economy couldn't get going. So we do need business to do well. And then you've got exactly like you said, Joe, we've got families that are spending more time together, families that are cooking at home that don't normally cook. We've got all sorts of amazing things happening. So I think it's really, we can use this Three Stooges effect to look at what is happening well, to have more gratitude, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a reset. We're kind of burning it down and starting from scratch. It's like when a forest fire happens or a controlled burn. I mean, they do that because they need new growth, and it's actually a healthy way to manage a forest. So I feel like we've kind of burned things down, and we need to rebuild them better because there were a lot of systems in place that were just poison, not good. So it does, amidst the destruction and the pain and sickness, there is a lot of hope, I guess.
Totally.
We will get a pretty out of 2020.
We're gonna make
out of 2020 and 2021. We will get a pretty. I hope.
Lou says it's the Three Stooges syndrome. What are we calling it?
Yeah, not effect. Yeah, it's syndrome.
Not the effect. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lou. Thank you, Lou.
God,
the geeks are not doing well at nerding out.
We need Lou. What are we?
So grind my gears this week. Did anybody else have a grind my gears this week?
It's your show.
Oh, I didn't know if like you guys wanted to. Oh, it's someone's.
No, it's all about you.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I was listening to the radio, and the guy was talking about. He's like, his wife was like, "Hey, do you know what today is? I can't believe today is." And he's like, did I forget somebody's birthday? Is it a family member? Like, what is it? Did somebody die? I don't know. No, it was Khloe Kardashian's birthday. And he's like, why the F do I care about her birthday? Like, can you believe she's 37? No, I can't believe, because I don't care. It does not affect my life at all. And so his thing that made me think about it, and I was like, oh, well, he does have a point there. It's like, why do some people have that ability to like literally just take their name, slap it on the side of anything, bam, and all of a sudden people are buying it? And then other people are like, I'm providing a service, I'm doing blah, 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 I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Okay, cool. Like, no problem.
Hang on a minute. Aren't you one of the world's biggest Kanye West fans, Super Joe Pardo?
I am. And,
well,
hold on. So, but Kanye actually produces music and raps and produces shoes that I'm not the biggest fan of the shoes
that have got his name on them.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, have you seen some of the shoes?
No, because I'm not a Kanye West fan.
It's not just taking like a $5 flip flop and being like, bam, my name's on it, so now it's a $30 flip flop. They're actually like craft. And I'm not a big fan of the shoes, but they are crafting shoes. They have a guy who worked at. I watched an interview with him. I think he got fired from like Nike or something, and Kanye called him up, and this guy's like some 50-year-old dude, and he's like, Kanye West, wait, what? Why would I take a call? Like, he wasn't sure what he was going to do, and then he found that, like, hey, they actually have a great working relationship. Of course, he didn't say a whole lot during the interview. Kanye West was doing most of the talking, but he was there. He did the thing.
Well, so you're grinding your gears. What's grinding your gears, I should say, is the Kardashians.
No,
they can put their name on everything and they make money.
Them. Not specifically them, but just people in general that seem to have that a natural ability.
Well, you're talking about famous people, though, right?
Well, some of them are famous. Some of them aren't so famous. I mean, there's businesses that aren't really that famous, but the brand bears their name.
But are they successful? I'm confused.
Well, I mean,
I'm almost always in that state, but here I am again.
No, I don't know. I mean,
these are your gears. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding what has gotten you all in a hither.
It's just, certain people have that knack to be able to just like, oh, I'm making this cup now. Bam, name on it, sold. Maybe Lou can help me. Can you help me out with the Midas?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I understand with the Kardashians because they're famous. I understand with Kanye, he's very famous. Of course, anything he puts his name on is going to do well. The Kardashians, if it makes you feel any better, Joe, have had some failures. They've had some clunkers. The Kardashian card, for example, and that's card with a K, because of course, that was an utter flop. That was a prepaid credit card that cost you $100 in fees to activate. So,
why would you even bother?
Well, let's just say it didn't last very long. But if you did get it, it had the pictures of the Kardashian girls on there. And
that's
fun to shop.
Title take far out.
I mean, I guess we could all three try slapping our name on something and seeing what happens, but
I don't reckon it'll work for me.
I don't think it'll work for me either. I think you need a bit of fame or notoriety in order for that to happen. I can't think of an example of somebody that doesn't have that sort of fame that slaps their name on something and is instantly successful.
Maybe we should have some sort of amazing television show with all three of us, and then maybe, I don't know, see if it works. Maybe Lou will come watch. Maybe Brent. Maybe we'll have two people that watch our show.
Your mom will watch.
My mom will watch.
I mean, we could get a Business Geeks van and just drive it around. I don't know. Give out ice cream.
Yeah, but the George Foreman grill, Lou, is actually really good. Come on, like that's not.
Nobody hates on the George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
I mean, he named all of his kids George. Like
that's not confusing at all.
Well, I mean,
it makes it easy because you don't have do you ever call out your kids' names and get the wrong kid? Like I do all the time, or I used to anyway. When they were, they'd be fighting, and I'd just reel off all the names. If they're all called George, you always win. It's always good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'm not feeling the passion that I'd like to feel from a grind my gears. I don't feel like it's really grinding your gears enough. I feel like I've seen you madder, more annoyed.
I have been madder. I have been more annoyed, but it was something that it just some people just seem to have that luck, right?
Oh, Samantha Riley swimwear.
Swimwear can work. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, let me just give you the backstory of why that could work. There's an Australian Olympic swimmer called Samantha Riley. So it's technically it would work, but it wouldn't work for me.
Oh man. Anyway, the wrap up. We're supposed to name one of it's take my lunch money. And literally, my lunch money is going to a local business called Amigos, which I'm going to share my web here. You want to real grind my gears? Here you go.
Okay, this is where it is.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere.
Have you been to the website? Have you been to the website?
I have been to their website.
Yeah. This is their website, right? This is their website, and they said we are rebuilding our site. Yeah, they've been doing that since literally when they opened.
Tell us how you really feel, Joe. I can feel the grind my gears coming now. I
am actually going to eat the leftovers from the other night tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm just it's annoying that they they have yet to get their website together to do like any kind of online ordering or anything of
Joe, why don't you help them in exchange for free food for life?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, come
exactly
on,
what I was thinking.
I totally could.
Let's tag Amigos in there. Come on.
Yes.
Let's help each other out.
Come on. Work for burritos already. Come on.
But I don't really want to build websites for other people.
No, but this is
for Amigos.
This is for Amigos.
Yeah, right.
This is you being an amigo to Amigos.
Yes. Yeah.
And you'll forever be able to bring up their site and talk about them on a future episode. And have all of the empanadas you can eat.
Their empanadas are really good.
I mean, think if you could just feed your family. Feed your family. Like, take out that cost.
Yeah, well, family, because Dom won't eat it, Ava won't eat it, so it's mostly me and Melissa. And Melissa won't eat it so many days a week, but I'll eat it every day.
You'll eat it. You'll save on lunch. You'll save that lunch money.
Yeah, right.
You can put that lunch money right in the bank.
No, but they do a great job, and that's who's taking my lunch money this week.
Well,
awesome. Well
you
done,
just made me
Amigos.
really hungry, and I'm doing intermittent fasting, so I'm extra hungry.
Oh no! How's the diet working out for you, Jen?
Well, I'm not going to call it diet because that has the word "die" in it. I realized, and that's kind of grim. I gravitate kind of naturally to fasting, so I'm just doing it a little more. I'm paying attention to it more, so I'm doing the 18-6 intermittent fasting, which I really like.
It's
much easier
for eat for 6 hours.
Yeah, you have like a 6-hour eating window, and there's some biology that happens with your body in terms of burning fat and stabilizing your blood sugar, energy. You have more energy, and for me, my problem is if I start eating, I keep eating. But but I have no problem like just not eating. I can fast pretty easily, but it's just if I start eating, I don't have a lot of control after the first bite. So knowing that about myself, this just works for me. I think.
I look forward to hearing in a month what's going on because I've never done intermittent fasting.
I've done that unintentionally. Unintentionally, that's how I eat a lot
by getting
of
busy and forgetting to eat.
Well, like if you skip breakfast, I skip breakfast most of the time. We talk about this the routine, right? Mm-hmm. I skip breakfast most of the time. So by the time I'm eating, it's like 11:30, 12 o'clock because I'm very hungry. Eat my lunch, and then within 6 hours, I'm eating dinner, and then I'm going to sleep, and then I'm not eating breakfast. So like I do that like a lot of times without even trying.
Yeah. So you just have to, like when you're in your fasting period, you basically just have water or black coffee or tea, like no sweetener. So in order for it to be clean. So I stopped drinking my calories. So I'm only having black coffee or water. that's been okay. The morning is fine. I'm used to having like a glass of wine with dinner, so I do miss that. But we'll see. We'll see.
So
Good
I don't know
work,
about.
Ben.
Yeah, definitely. This is great work. So for me, like during this pandemic, I've actually lost 25 pounds without even trying.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm so sick of guys telling me this. I'm so sick of it.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that.
Oh my God, lucky you're in a different country, Joey. Otherwise, I would hit you with a cup right now.
This could be my grind my gears. Like
right there.
Come take a boat and come join me. It's okay.
Take a boat. Yeah. See you in 3 months. Actually, yes, because this is a thing. I think it's on Friday. It's actually waffle day. And Joe's wife, Melissa, makes the best waffles. And so I saw that and I was like, ooh, I wish we were going to their house on Friday.
She really does. And yes, I wish you were coming here on Friday because it's warm and it's nice and it'd be great to have you here. I mean, aside from like everything going on, but that it's okay. So I'm sorry that I had to break that news to anybody, but it's not for trying, just a lack of going out to eat for the most part every single day, 5 days a week, and pretty much has probably done that, and doing all the work in the studio has probably done it for me. So I think
it's great, Joe.
I still want to lose like another 25 pounds, and then I'll probably be like mostly happy with it, but. With like all the swimming I'm getting in, it's
that's great exercise.
Good work.
I'm happy for you, Joe.
Yeah, I am
for you.
Come on, Jen, get on my level.
I'm trying. Oh my God. It's like my body thinks I'm hibernating or something.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you, Jen. It's like we need the winter fat.
All I know is if spandex had not been invented, I would be in trouble. Thank God for stretchy pants.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, it's been a fun time with both of you and with Brent and Lou and Nick and Lorraine and anybody else that's been watching throughout this last 40-some minutes, or even the person that's listening right now on their headphones while they're in the shower. In the headphones while you're listening on the speaker while you're in the shower, or headphones while you're mowing the lawn, which I actually have to go do at some point, probably tomorrow. Anyway, this episode has been so much fun, and if you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with the business geek in your life. Send us your questions and suggestions to questions@businessgeekspodcast.com. Catch us next Monday at 5 p.m. We haven't even discussed this. 5 p.m.
Just say 5 p.m. Eastern time.
5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or Tuesday at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Time, assuming Sam can wake up early enough to make that happen.
I have a morning routine.
All right. Ding, ding. Let's go. I hope all of you and your family stay safe over the next week, and we'll see you next Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you live.
Ciao.
Take care, everybody.